So now I'm sharing my laptop screen with you guys. Now this is a PDF file, okay, which I have prepared, and in this there are all those snapshots of all the pages that are there in your book of this chapter. So you have to come on page number 108, and here under this heading, the small basic environment. It is mentioned in the second line that this environment, it was developed by Vijay Raji, a Microsoft engineer in October 2008. So just underline this whole line. Underline this whole line from it to 2008. Okay, so it was developed by Vijay Raji, who was a Microsoft engineer in October 2008. Okay, now what is a small basic? It's an integrated development environment. Now, what does this mean? What do you mean by integrated development environment? See, an environment in which we can design the code, we can type the code, we can edit it, we can check it, we can test the code. Debug means testing and finding out the errors in the lines of code. Okay, and we can execute small programs.
Sir, which page
That
number?
it's page number 108. We are on. Okay, so integrated development environment is an environment in which we can type something, we can type the code, we can edit the code, we can test the code, okay, and find out the errors in the code. Fine, and if there are some errors, we can rectify the errors and make the code executable. So an environment in which we can define small codes for small programs, that particular environment is known as integrated development environment, an environment in which we can develop something. Fine. Now every command or instruction that we write in an integrated development environment, it is known as statement. Okay, every line of code that you write in such an environment, it is termed as statement. The specific set of rules, the set of rules which you have to follow while writing the codes in an integrated development environment is known as syntax. So remember these terms. It may come in your question paper that what is syntax, or else I can give you this question in MCQs also. Fine. So you have to remember these terms. What is a statement? What is meant by syntax? So is this thing clear to every one of you? The three terms: integrated development environment, statement, and syntax. Or is there any problem?
Sir, please.
Are these three terms clear to? Sorry, dear.
Sir, integrated development environment.
An integrated development environment is an environment in which we can develop something new, in which we can write the codes. Okay, we can modify the codes, we can edit the codes, and we can develop some executable small programs.
So
Okay.
what is syntax?
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
So what is syntax?
What is syntax? फिर आप मुझसे पूछोगे what is statement, तो मैं एक काम करता हूँ, मैं तीनों ही दोबारा समझा देता हूँ. No problem. Integrated development environment is an environment in which we can write any code, we can type something, we can execute that code, and we can get the desired output also on the output window. Fine. This is what is meant by integrated development environment. What is a statement? You know, if you are writing a line of code, fine. So that line of code is known as a statement. All the lines of code that you will be writing in the integrated development environment, those will be called as statements of the program. Fine. What is meant by syntax? There are some specific set of rules that you have to follow while writing the codes for a program. Okay, every development environment has its own set of rules. For example, if we talk about Java, that has its own set of rules. If we talk about C, that has its own set of rules. So whatever platform you're working on, it has got a specific set of rules that you have to follow while writing the codes for a particular program in that integrated development environment. Now is this thing clear to every one of you? When we will do it practically, na, you will be able to understand it in a more clear way. Okay, so don't think कि आपको नहीं समझ में आया तो कोई बात नहीं. When we will do it practically, जब आपको 110% समझ में आ जाए. Okay, but right now just try to remember these terms: integrated development environment, statement, and syntax. Okay, now let's talk about how can we download small basic on our laptop or desktop or whatever device we have at our homes. How can we download and install that small basic software? So for that, what you have to do, you have to come on, you have to take help from Google Baba. आपको Google Baba से इसकी help लेनी पड़ेगी बेटा. So this is the first page that you're going to see when you will access Google on your web browser. Now here in the search bar, you have to type small basic download. Okay. You have to type this thing in the search bar of Google Baba, and then you have to press enter. When you will press enter, automatically this is a page you're going to come across. Now here right on the top, you will be able to see a site with name Small Basic. Are you all able to see it or not? Are you all
Yes,
able to
sir.
see this site right on the top?
Yes,
So
sir.
now what you have to do, you have to visit this site. By clicking on this hyperlink, you will be able to access this site. So it looks somewhat like this. Now there are two options. First option you can make use of is this one, download Small Basic. If you want to download the Small Basic software on your laptop or desktop, you can hit this button. What is going to happen when you will hit this button? Either it will start getting downloading automatically on your laptop, or else you will come across a window like this. Okay, right now I'm using Windows 7, so that is the reason I'm able to see a dialog box like this. Now here I have to select a location where I would like this file, this small basic file, to get saved. So I am selecting the desktop right now. So let's save it there on the desktop. So are you all able to see this file over here right at the bottom? So this file will get automatically downloaded on your respective devices when you will hit this button and save the file. Now you have to install it. How you are going to install it? Just double click the file, okay, or click the file. This is what this is a dialog box which you are going to come across. Now hit this run button and then click yes, okay, whatever options the dialog box is going to reflect, or you are going to see on the dialog box that are going to appear when you will hit this run button. Once you are done with installing the software, what you have to do, you have to come on this start button, and here in this search bar you have to type small. Okay, then what is going to happen? You will be able to see this Microsoft Small Basic option right on the top. Okay, because I have already installed Microsoft Small Basic software on my laptop, so that is the reason it is visible to me. But by default it is not visible. You have to install the software first. Once you are done with installing it, you you will be able to see this Microsoft Small Basic option in the program section. Click on this option. Now let's see
Sir?
what are we going to get as an output. Yes, who's this?
सर मैं साथ के साथ इंस्टॉल कर रहा हूँ तो वो अभी इंस्टॉल हो रहा है तो सर उसके बाद क्या करना है
After installing it, you can access it by clicking on the start button and write down small here. आप small लिखो यहाँ पर, ठीक है, आपको small basic आपको नजर आ जाएगा. You just have to click on it to access the software. Now let's see what are we going to get as the output. So this is the environment. This is the IDE of Small Basic. Okay, this is the help area, this blue portion that you're seeing over here. This is the help area. This is the part where you can define the code, where you can write down anything, and that is the reason this part is also known as edit window. This part of the software is known as toolbar, and right on the top, this part of this window is known as title bar. So we have got four panels on this software. One is this title bar, the second one is this tools bar that you're seeing here. Okay, and there are different kind of tools you can make use of for doing different kind of things. If you want to save your program, you can hit this button. If you want to save it giving a unique name, you can make use of save as option. If you want to open an existing file, you can make use of this option. If you want to open a new file, you can make use of this option. If you want to run your code, you can make use of this run button. We will make use of, I will tell you practically how can you use it. Okay, once we'll get familiar with the coding part of this panel, small basic, and here you can write down any code. So this is how this offline platform of small basic works. Now if suppose you guys don't have laptops or desktop with you, so in that case there is one more option you guys can use. This is that option, start coding online. So if you want to write down, if you want to code online, if you want, better don't interrupt in between please. Let me just finish with my part. मैं स्लो तो जा रहा हूँ ना, मैं ज्यादा फास्ट तो नहीं जा रहा, बिल्कुल स्लो जा रहा हूँ मैं, ऐसा तो नहीं लग रहा है किसी को that I'm going in a very fast way or okay. So if you guys want to code the things, code your programs online, how can you do that? You can make use of the second option, start coding online. Now when you will hit this button, automatically you'll come across a window like this. It may take some time to get low, for loading onto your devices based on your device's configuration. So the environment that you're going to see, this is the environment that you will come across. Now here you can define the code, you can write down the small basic code, and you can run that too using this run button over here. Okay, we have got all the options here also. So you can make use of this online panel if you do not have a laptop or desktop with you to practice this software practically. Okay, so these are the two things, these are the two options that you can make use of that are available on this small basic online platform. Now let's see how can we define the code in this edit window of this small basic software. Now when you will write down anything on this software in this edit window, let's start with W. If you will write W or T or any alphabet, then you are going to see a pop-up window like this. Is this pop-up window visible to every one of you?
Yes, sir.
Is this visible to every one of you? What is this pop-up window? This is known as IntelliSense. What is this called as? IntelliSense. It is given in your book also. Let me just show you where you can find it in your book. This is the part where you can find it. It's on page number 109. Right in the bottom of the page, you will be able to see a line like this. A pop-up window appears called IntelliSense. So in this pop-up window, what happens? You will be able to see all the codes, that you can make use of for coding different things on this small basic platform. ठीक है, बहुत सारी चीजें मिल जाएंगी आपको, दिख रही है सारी की सारी चीजें. You just have to keep scrolling the list down. ठीक है, ऑटोमेटिकली आपको सारे ऑप्शंस यहाँ पे मिल जाएंगे. Fine. Now let's do one thing. Let's type a code and check out the output of that code. Okay, so the window on which the code gets produced is known as text window. जिस पे हमारा output आता है ना finally, उसको हम कहते हैं text window. Now if you want to write something on that text window, on that output window, the keyword that you have to use is text window. When you will write this text, automatically this text window is going to appear in the IntelliSense portion like this. Okay. तो आप इसको select कर लीजिए. You just have to click on this and automatically it will get selected. Now, if you want to write something on this text window, the keyword or the property that you have to use or the function that you have to use is write. ये भी आपको visible है ना ये write function. Double click on it to select it. Now, suppose I want to write down something like what is the name? What is the full name of your class? Grade 6 Vasudha. Okay.
ज्ञान
सर
मुद्रा
ज्ञान
Sorry.
मुद्रा
Sorry. Yeah. ज्ञान मुद्रा मुझे वसुधा का पता नहीं क्यों याद आता. अच्छा तो grade 6 ज्ञान मुद्रा is the name of your class. Now why this is a rule that whatever you have to write down you have to enclose it in double inverted commas. Okay, this is also a rule that you have to follow if you want to get the required output on the output window. Now let's just see what is the output this code is going to give us. So for that we need to click on this run 5 button. Are you all able to see your class's name right on the top here? Grade 6 Gyan Mudra. Are you all able to see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is how we can write down anything on this text window. Now let's write down something else. So we have the facility of copying and pasting the code also. You can select the whole code and copy it by pressing Ctrl and C together and write it down in the next line like this. Fine. Let's computer class. Okay. So this is what I want to get as an output on the output window, or you can say on the text window. So are you all able to see this? Grade 6 Gyan Mudra computer class. दिख रही है सब लोगों को सबसे टॉप पर?
Yes, sir.
Now if you want to see it in separate lines, how you can do this? So for doing that we have got a code. We have got a code called write line. Instead of using write, now we will be using write line.
Right line.
हम लोग write line का use करते हैं for this also and for this one also. Now let's see what are we going to get as an output on that text window. Now did you notice the changes? ठीक है, अब क्या हो रहा है? अब अलग अलग लाइन में वो चीजें आ रही. So that's how you can make use of write property and write line property.
Right line.
I hope you have got the difference also between write and write line property. This is the difference. If you want to print everything in a single line, you have to make use of write, and if you want to define separate lines for everything, okay, so you can make use of write line property. Now if suppose let's remove these double inverted commas from here. Let's see whether we'll be able to get the output in that case or not. So for that we need to hit this run 5 button. Are we able to get the output? No. See this error window you will be able to see then. If there is some error in your code, this window is going to appear. Now what is this error window saying? Operation text window dot write line is supplied 3 arguments. ये इन 3 चीजों को as a argument ले रहा है. ठीक है, we'll learn about these arguments also in the later classes, but for now I am just trying to tell you how can you check the errors. Okay, so this is the error window which will tell you about the errors that if there are any in the code that you have written in the edit window. Is this thing clear to every one of you? Now if you want to remove the error, just write down the code correctly and run it. This is how you can rectify your errors.